One of the great joys of being Secretary of State is getting to host the annual Kennedy Center Honors here in this beautiful Ben Franklin State Dining Room, as we call it. We hold hundreds of official events here every year. And it is in this room that we receive foreign ministers and heads of state. You might be amused to know that when I greet people here and talk to them, I always say that the Kennedy Center Honors is one of the most prestigious and fascinating events that we have here. And you should hear the oohs and the ahs when I say to them, Elizabeth Taylor was over there, and James Brown was over there. It's a wonderful room, and we swear in all of our new ambassadors in this room. And we do it not just to send them off in style, but these surroundings show President Bush's newest ambassadors that they continue a long tradition of service to the nation, marching all the way back to America's first ambassador, America's first envoy, who was Benjamin Franklin. As glorious as this room is, and especially as glorious as it is tonight, it is never more beautiful to me as it is on a Friday afternoon every now and again when I swear in our new junior officers to the Foreign Service. I'll have these wonderful young people arrayed in chairs before me, and here in this room we connect the Founding Fathers and what they stood for to the newest carriers of the nation's values as these young people stand before me, raise their right hands, and solemnly take that same timeless oath. I solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. For me, it's always a moving moment to receive these youngsters into my care, into the care of the department. They're at the beginning of their careers, and the future success of American diplomacy will depend upon their skill and their dedication. And as surely as our men and women in uniform do, the men and women of American diplomacy help our country stand tall on the front lines of freedom. At the core of so many of the challenges we face at home and abroad is a loss of hope, especially among young people, whether they are in impoverished communities right here in the United States or in the Middle East or in fledgling democracies that are going through the difficult transitions or working their way into the developing and to-be-developed world. For a world of hope is a world where thugs and traffickers and tyrants and terrorists cannot thrive. A human heart full of hope is such a very powerful force for good. And that brings me to this evening and to our honorees, our very distinguished Kennedy Center honorees. Joan Sutherland, Elton John, Warren Beatty, John Williams, Ruby Dee, and Ossie Davis. Through your art, you spark minds, you stir hearts, you touch souls. And by so doing, you also help to create the stuff of hope, the stuff that dreams are made of. And tonight we can be proud that America, Australia, the United Kingdom, and other free nations across the globe are working with friends and former foes to build a world of hope. On behalf of President and Mrs. Bush, on behalf of the men and women of the Department of State, and on behalf of the American people, I wish to thank Joan Sutherland, Elton John, Warren Beatty, John Williams, Ossie Davis, and Ruby Dee for their lifetime contributions to the performing arts and for using their God-given gifts to lift the spirits of men and women everywhere on earth. Thank you.